Well, let's see what happens tonight. I know there's several other people that are already live. And some that come here are doing other stuff, I know, but yeah, we'll just see what happens. I've got my usual. There's two in. See if they stay. Hey, Josh. Now, who's the other one that's here? Most generally, I get 5 to come in, or here 20 seconds and leave. Yeah, one of them's already gone. So, yeah, just like any other night, Josh. Not doing too much. A Clint Eastwood movie just came on TV, but thought I'd give this a shot. I haven't done one in, I guess, since last weekend. I don't know. I lose track. Just been so muggy here lately. Humidity today was 94%, 80 some degrees. It's dropped to 58% right now. So it's not too bad outside. But that is better than those up north that are getting snow here and there. Monroe Smith did a live stream the other night from Manila. His internet was terrible, so he kept breaking up bad and freezing, or buffering. So I didn't really get a chance to talk with him and find out how things are going there while he's visiting his girl there. I would like to go back to the Philippines, but I'm tied up with having all the kitties. I don't have anybody to take care of them, so I can go. Plus, I'm one of the holdouts on the vaccine, so they won't let me fly anyways. I'm not sure whether you could still fly not being vaccinated. But then if they do, then you're stuck being in quarantine when you get there. They've stopped that for the vaccinated now. I'd already started this before I thought of that again. I need to write me a big sticky note or something to stick up here in the corner of my monitor. I keep forgetting about it. If I did that, I might even get a few more people come in. There's a few of them like IJ or Bikini Hiker and stuff that don't like to be on the streams, on the stream yard. More Fatty doesn't like to be up on it. But there's others that do. Yeah. Well, I have heard, and I haven't checked on it. This is just what I hear mostly on YouTube. I can fly anywhere in the U.S. without being vaccinated, but I can't fly international. Now, like I say, I haven't haven't looked that up or haven't done any checking out to verify that's correct, but that's the feedback I keep getting all the time from people on YouTube. Not that anybody on YouTube knows what I'm talking about, but it sounds good. Hello, Mildred. How are you today? Are you vaccinated, Josh? I know some of the people on here have had to do it because of their jobs and stuff, but I even disagree with that. There's two Filipinos that I've talked with that had to get vaccinated because of their jobs, because they're OFWs, overseas worker. And one of them ended up in the hospital after she got vaccinated, and then the other one ended up with COVID. There's just too many people have too many problems with it that get vaccinated, and there's too many that still are getting infected with COVID after they get vaccinated. That's my big hold off on having it done myself, because there's just too much negative stuff on it that way. Yeah, well, that's the thing of it. I mean, I don't, the vaccine itself, I don't say makes, well, it affects some people, but it's just like anything else. Every medication you take, it tells you don't take it if this or don't take it if that, and whatever. But because like the one I said there, that's she ended up in the hospital from it, so she had a bad reaction to the vaccine. But the other one, even long after having the vaccine, she turned around and got sick, caught COVID. Hey, Ken. Now, Josh, there's one that got the vaccine. Ken went and got his. Now he's in the Philippines. Hey, Jonah, how are you this morning? But that's, like I say, that's just my opinion on it. I see too many people that either have gotten it and gotten sick, or oh, I know, but there's a lot of that stuff, you have to look at too. That they have to play the game with us because of the fact that YouTube is an American company, and we do have freedom of speech here. I mean, I don't come out and just run stuff down on it. I just, give my opinion on it, what I hear, what I see. I know there's a lot of people that have gotten misinformation on this stuff in Ukraine and other stuff with YouTube, whatever, and they believe it's the gospel and won't do or say nothing about it. And it only takes, a few people to misinformation about anything, and then a few of the others then believe it. And that's why I say, like with this, it's my opinion. Don't mean I'm right, but it's what I think. I need a kitty sitter, Ken. I can't go anywhere because of all the kitties. And one of mine, I don't know how much of my videos you've kept up on, but one of mine had 5 little ones here. Yeah, they must be getting around. Shoot, I'm not even sure now. Maybe 5, 6 weeks old. And I've got 3 others that have just had babies in the last week and a half. I haven't seen any of them yet because of where they've got them. I can't get in to see them. I've got to find a place so I can get rid of all the new ones, not keep any of the little ones. And I've kept putting off on doing it, because, spending the money, but I'm going to have to break down and spend the money to get these others fixed so they're not having more. But the only problem with, what I've done in the past, it's around $150 per animal to get them fixed. One of the things I've always noticed, Josh, after the live stream is done, it shows how many, if any. But while I'm live, I can't see the thumbs down. So I don't know if I get any or not. I don't care if I do. I mean, they count the same either way. Ken, did you see Rena's video yesterday where her and Mike went out to eat? They were having shrimp that Mike was having to tear the heads off from and do this and do that with and whatnot. He kept saying, I hope Ken's watching this. I hope Ken's watching this. Well, when I first started doing videos, I had, I think, one person that came in and gave a thumbs down on each one of them. But I haven't had any in a long time. But like I say, I don't care. I mean, if somebody actually don't like a video or a live stream, either one, I've always said, you should give a thumbs down. Don't just automatically give a thumbs up like most people ask for. Because that way, if you're getting thumbs down and it's not just, somebody being a jerk, then you're doing something that not everybody likes. So it kind of gives you the option to go back and look at it and say, well, maybe if I change this or change that, I'll make better quality. Doesn't always work, but it gives you something to look at and think about. And as far as YouTube goes, thumbs up or thumbs down, either one count the same. All they do is they just take a total number, thumbs up, thumbs down, add them together, and that's what you've got for activity. It don't make you get paid anymore if you're monetized or anything else. And the only thing the thumbs up are actually used for, thumbs up, thumbs down, the totals, are actually used for by YouTube when you look at a listing of recommended videos. The ones with the more activity, the combination of thumbs up and thumbs down, are the ones that get pushed toward the top of the list. That's the only thing it does. And another thing that brings them up the top more that way too is just how much, again, activity you get from views and stuff. So somebody comes in, looks at your channel, only watches it for 2 minutes and leaves. Well, that helps you. It's not giving you a lot of watch hours, but it's helping you on your view content. Or yeah, I can't even talk straight. On your view count. Yeah, I'm not sure on that. I've never looked into it to that point. I just, know on the other what I've read on them as far as the ups and downs together. But I know that a lot of people really push that, wanting the thumbs up, and get hurt if they get a thumbs down. But I've been to other streams, that the people one, they've got a lot of followers, so it makes it easier to do. But every one of their live streams, they usually end up with 100 thumbs up. Oh, they're doing it on the tennis court, Ken. I've never seen them do it that way, but I've seen them do it on the road. Because when I was over in Dait, they did it on the road there, and they would have it just on one side of the road, so and people would drive on the other lane, going both directions to go around the rice. But JB Blogs has been putting her rice out on the little road she lives in, which has very little traffic. She covers the whole road with it. She just lets people drive over it. But she says she hardly has any traffic, so it's not hurting anything. I would be leery of going down it on a motorbike or scooter, because that stuff would roll on the tires. You may dump it. But she's been harvesting her rice and then been drying it on the road. And then when JB had hers out there in the road, she kept running out, shooing off the neighbors' chickens because they were coming to eat. But rice is one of the big income things for the people that have a place to do it. And it's something that everybody uses over there, so it's easy to get rid of. Yeah, I haven't seen her today. She did a short live earlier today, like 45 seconds or something. I missed it too. I went back and saw it afterwards, but that's all she did it for. She was outside doing something in town. Don't even know what the purpose of it was. Jonah, are you still there or did you leave? Hey, Maureen. So, Maureen, did you figure out how to cook without a fire? She did a short video earlier there with getting the wood fire going for cooking on it. I was teasing her about it. I wanted to see her cook without a fire. Josh, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ken and Maureen. They're both. Ken's from Ohio, Maureen's from Mindanao, Philippines. They are a couple. Yeah, that's the video I'm talking about. And they went and ordered, Christ, they were huge shrimp. Yeah, I would like to have that just for the fact of a lot of times you have, it shows there's so many here watching or whatever, but you don't know who they are if they're not talking. And if you go up to the top to the three dots above the chat and click on that, all that tells you is the ones that have been most recently in the chat. So being that Maureen's not there to go with Rena now, I wonder if she'll take Mike to Zumba. Hey, Nancy. How are you doing this morning? Yeah, I need to do the same thing just because there's a bunch of stuff I don't know how to do and whatnot. Even like, just an example, doing videos. I don't know how to edit them. I'm only on a laptop. I don't have access to it on a phone, which most of them do their stuff on the phone. I'm gonna sleep again a little bit, but doing it on the laptop, you got to turn around and get a certain program to make it work on the laptop. I don't understand it, but you got to pay for it, and I'm not sure which one's a good one to get or whatever. So I haven't done it yet, and that's why my videos come out the way they do. They're short because I showed that little bit of what I'm doing, and where I'd like to be able to stop it there and go somewhere else and do something else and do it and then bring them together, as one video. I don't know how to join them, so I can't do that. There's a few little parts, I could cut out of it. I don't know how to do that. But are they free for a laptop? Because all of them that I found before when I was looking for them, you had to pay for. Or the way I read it was, to get the program to edit it, you had to have something other program to make that program work, and you had to pay for the other program. Kind of a catch-22 there. and my count for those that are here never seems to be accurate, because I'll have more people talking in the chat than what it shows that I've got in here to begin with. The other night I was on one there, I was getting thumbs up and there was nobody here. Some days YouTube just seems like kind of screwed up. They just stole your message. What did you say? Because once in a while, if you say certain words, it'll disappear. And even though it may not be a bad word or something, you know, or a bad phrase, however, it's done by a damn computer, so that doesn't always, you know, accurate on what it's doing. Yeah, I've had to do that with mine before, where it'll keep deleting, and then I'll do it 2 or 3 times, and it still won't let it go through like that. And then the last time I do it, I'll type half the sentence and send it, then put the other half of the sentence and send it. Exactly the same thing I said previous, but I said before it was in one sentence, and it'll go through. Makes no sense. Got one of the kitties at the door over there, but I can't see which one it is. It's dark outside. It's dark here a little bit before 8:30. Hey, Samira. How are you doing this morning? And Josh, her comment there about from the land of the weak signal. That's just kind of a ongoing joke around all the Philippines. Their internet over there is terrible. Well, at least you got a notification. A lot of times I don't think they get out. Okay, Josh. Being you're not working, you're kind of sleeping in lately. Samira, Ken and Marine were at your house earlier, but said you didn't answer the door. They knocked for quite a while, but you never answered. Yeah, but Samira, when the guys go back home, it'll be back to LDR again. They haven't made the trip permanent yet. Then they get to look forward to that long flight home again. Yeah, didn't one of you guys say you're staying more than just a month? The other one's staying a month there. I can't remember now what each of you said you was going to do. Hey, JB. How are you this morning? We were just talking about you a few minutes ago. Ken was saying down there where he's at, they're drying rice down there today, but they're doing it on the tennis court. Yeah, there's several other live streams going right now, live streams and premieres. We was talking about your rice and how you dry it. Because Ken was saying they're down where him and Maureen are at, they're drying rice down there, but they're doing it on the tennis court. One of my trips over there, they were drying rice on the road like you do, but they only did it on one side of the road. And then they did it in patches so people could switch lanes to go around it. Nobody drove over the rice. Well, Josh, your snow's gone, so we can't talk about that. Yeah, but JB, not everybody has as much rice to dry as you do. That's why I say, like where I was at, up there in the Beagle region, they had just small patches of it on the road in one lane only. And the area that they'd have rice on wouldn't be as big as your house, but just on one side of the road. Josh, go back and look at some of JB's recent videos where she's drying rice. She's got it out on the road in front of her house, both lanes, all the way down the road. Are you going to make me work for it now, huh? Yeah, let me see if I can find it. There, Josh. That was a live stream that she did, so she's the camera's being moved around, showing it and talking about it and whatnot. But you can see a picture there of how far down the road she's got rice covering the whole road. And then, like I said earlier, then she's out there chasing the neighbor's chickens away that are trying to eat it. Yeah, if you had it too thick, the part underneath wouldn't get the sun and wouldn't dry it as well. And if you put it away wet with moisture in it, then it's liable to mold on you. JB, how the chickens doing? The little ones. They all surviving now? My neighbor, I told you, that got some chickens. He also got some small ducks, but he's got them together. And the ducks are a little bit bigger than the chickens, and they're squashing some of the chickens and killing them. I told him how you were doing with yours when you first got them, going in there, keep spreading them around, pushing them apart to get them off the top of each other. Never had egg bread before. I've had potato bread. Josh, that's how they do it in the Philippines. Now, like Ken was talking there about doing it on the tennis court, or like I said that I've seen. Hey, Joanne. Or I've seen it when I was in the Philippines. They did it smaller patches, but that was, just a small amount of rice. It wasn't as much as what she takes in. But Josh, if you go back to her channel, you'll find, I mean, she's got a whole bunch of her live streams and stuff where she's doing it there for about the rice, about her chickens, and the chicks when she first got them in. And she's not doing any of this in small scale. I think she said she ordered 360 little chicks when she ordered them. And on top of that, Josh, doing the rice and doing the chicks and the chickens and all that, she goes out and runs every morning before she takes care of the other stuff. She has a lot of videos and stuff of her running on the road there at home where she's at now and when she was in Hong Kong before. Bikini hiker that was in here a little bit ago, she's all of her videos and stuff are of them up running in the mountain or going in caves. Mia Morfatti, that's usually in here, she does the same thing. Her videos are of them, running and in the caves and whatnot. Yeah, everything around there is so much different than here. And then on top of all that stuff she's doing over there, the Philippines being an island nation, then they also deal with the severity of having the big typhoons and stuff all the time. JB, did you get your room all repainted? And what'd you finally end up deciding for color, the white or the pink? Well, it's the paint fumes that are making you sick. Can you open windows or anything in there to get some fresh air in there while you're painting? Also, if you're painting in there during the day, you probably shouldn't sleep in that room at night either, because it's still going to have the fumes in there as the paint dries overnight. Yeah, the walls, like I said, the off-white, the antique white, cream, whatever, is fine. Or the pink I thought looked good. On the ceiling, the only thing I ever use is what they call ceiling white. It's a different mixture of paint, giving it a little bit different white hue to it, and it reflects your lights and stuff better. Makes your room have better lighting in it without having to have as big a light bulbs to do it. JB, in case you can't tell by Josh's icon, he's one of our Canadian friends. Well, Josh, he might like your videos there, the cranberries and stuff too, because that's something they don't have in the Philippines. Cranberries are very expensive over there. Well, JB, when you get all done now, remember you have to go back and put all them circles back on your wall now with the purple paint, so you have the same pattern you had before. Well, I still think they look good when your son did that. I liked them. It must have taken him a while to put all them on when he did that before. Hey, Katrina, how are you tonight? Yep. If he hand painted all them on, it still had to take a while. Unless he had a template to hold up there just to paint in it, and do it that way, that would be quicker, but it's still going to take a while because you'd have to do each one and wait for that one to dry before you could lap one over it. He put some work into it for you. Yeah, because of it being a second layer of paint, it was thicker, made a ridge there. The other thing you could have tried would have been got some coarser grit sandpaper and sanded each of those spots to, bring it down flush again with the purple paint. And you had a lot of sanding to do it too. That's why I was telling you why you were doing it. Try to get it as smooth as possible and make it also as thin as possible to eliminate as much sanding as possible. You had a lot to do, so you needed a pretty big container like you had. I've done some for another lady. I did some work for one time. Just bought one of them small containers, like in the pictures that I sent you before. And what she got, um, when you put it on and spread it, it was pink. When it dried, it turned white, and it was dry less than an hour. But it was such a fine mixture that you could do it real smooth like that. Had very little, if any, sanding to do with it. Okay, Josh, catch you later. Yeah, you had a lot of work to do when you put that on the wall like that. And every place you put it like that, like I said, if you don't have it all really, really smooth, then that created more sanding, which was more work. I have to plug this thing in for too long. I'm down to 14% of my battery. Yeah. Well, and see, I didn't know you was going to do that way because I would have made another suggestion to you. Um, but again, would be more money, but would help you on the work part of it. You can go buy uh, a metal trowel for doing wide areas like that, and you can get one that's, you know, like this, that wide. I mean, that's 12 inches, but for you, it's say 30 centimeters. And see if you had a trowel that wide to spread your putty with, would make it easier to spread it and not get it, the ridges and stuff in it. Good morning, Rena. Because that little one you had was good for just doing the small cracks and stuff. But if you're gonna do the whole wall, you really need a wide one to simplify your work. But they make a wide trowel that way, and it has a handle on it. The handle's just that long, so one hand, and it's got a metal blade across it there, so you can spread it that way and do a wide area at one time. Ken and Maureen were both in here a while ago, Rena. think they were just getting ready to eat or something, but they were here earlier. I just don't know what kind of hardware stores and stuff you have in your area, JB. Because like say when I was over there, I was down one of my trips. I was down around Davao, and there they have Ace Hardware, which I like because we have them here. I used to work at Ace Hardwares, so I know the stuff they have in them, and that's what a lot of my recommendations are when I tell you to get something, use it or whatever. Ace Hardware carries it. Your hardware store may not. I don't know. It might be something too. I mean, thinking about it, another idea that they do in the Philippines, the guys that lay block and then they put the mortar on the outside of the blocks would use something like that to spread the mortar with. So that way they can get the outside of the house real smooth. Well, I understand that, but sometimes you have to think about, how much work is it going to take you to do it if you don't spend that extra little bit of money. I mean, like you're doing the whole wall and stuff with that spackling, with your little thing you're doing it compared to having one big one, make the difference of, a couple days work even. And if you spend too much time up there doing it with that little one and then having to sand it all, your shoulders are going to be bothering you when you're done. You already know that. Yeah, if it's your tiny hands, but remember you said your shoulders were getting sore from that continuous doing that stuff. And if you had the wide one, you can go up there and just do one swipe and cover what you did in 10 trips with your little one. I mean, if you're only going to do a small job, that little one's great. But if you have a lot to do, like you're talking, you gotta think about your benefit on it too. How sore you're going to be if you don't do it. Yeah, I couldn't be on the ladder like you were barefoot. I don't do anything barefoot to begin with. I mean, walk in the house, yes, but I can't work like you do with it. I've got a folding ladder like yours. I was trying to figure out how big your ladder is. Because when you got off and walked around beside, along beside it like that, it looked like your ladder might be a little bit bigger than mine, just going by your height. Because you had it folded, into 4 pieces. And on mine, each of the 4, I think, are just 4 feet long. So when it's out straight, one long straight ladder makes it 16 feet. And yours look like it's a little bit taller than you, so yours may be 5-foot pieces, so make it a 20-foot. Yeah. Yeah, but then folding ladders are nice. Because you can do so many different things with it, just like you did there, being able to break it, fold it down, and use it in the house. You can take it outside and open it, bigger and use it for a tree or something, or getting on the roof. That's why I like mine. I've had it for a lot of years. Yeah, well, I used mine that way too for getting up on the roof and stuff. The other thing you can do with them too, if you take the two middle sections and put them out straight like this, and then the two end ones fold them down like this, like legs, then you could take and get up on that cross piece on top of it. If you laid a plank across it, then you could walk on that instead of trying to walk on the rungs. But that would put you up in the air 5 feet. You know, if you're working out on something that, you know, you need that height and you got to move back and forth. You couldn't do it in the house because it'd be too high. But if you're working outside along the edge of the house or something, you know, painting the outside of the house or whatever. Or another way that I use mine a lot of times is I just take the two sections together straight and the other two and just put them here as one V, you know, which you make it twice as high as what you had the two V's. But that's how I fell there a couple of years ago in my driveway and broke my heel. I had it put up in the just one V that way. I was standing on the very top of it with a pole saw cutting limbs out of a tree, and the wind came up and swung the limb around, knocked me off the ladder, and I fell on the concrete. Yeah, mine's heavy too. And like I said, I think yours is a bigger ladder than mine. So I can imagine, you know, you moving that one around. Hey, Mike. I'm afraid to go over there, Mike. Rena and Marine have got you and Ken there. I'm afraid to go over, you know. They may take me out in the woods somewhere and lose me. Monroe just did a live stream the other night from up there in Manila. His internet, you know, naturally being in the Philippines was terrible. So I didn't really get a chance to talk with him, speak of. But he attempted to do a live stream the other night. Yes, Mike is there in Baguio with Rena, and Ken is down in Mindanao with Marine. They were all four of them were at Rena's when, as Mike and Ken flew over together. And then a few days ago, Ken and Marine flew down to Mindanao. Hey, Jim. Oh, that's not Jim. That's Monroe. How you doing tonight, Monroe? Well, this morning for you. I went to your live stream the other night, but You kept buffering and breaking up so bad that I finally ended up left. I didn't get a chance to really talk with you. I don't know, JB. Like I keep telling everybody, I got to have a kitty sitter. Plus, I'm not vaccinated, so I can't fly anyways. Now, JB, Life in North Carolina, that's Monroe Smith. He's now over there just outside of Manila with his LDR. Oh, you're at Mars now. I haven't talked with her in quite a long time. JB, who are you asking who about? Yeah, I don't like the big city either. My extent of being in Manila is being at the international airport and having a van ride out of there, or my other flight was shuttle bus over to the domestic airport. I don't care for big cities. Yeah. Yeah, I would rather be out in the province somewhere or in these small towns. A place where you can run and get, what you need and whatnot and not have a lot of people around all the time. That doesn't enthuse me at all. Yeah, I didn't realize that's what you guys were doing the other day. I think it was Ken that went over to see them. Huh. My internet connection is not stable tonight for some reason. I was down in Davao at one time too, but I kind of enjoyed it there, but I didn't, spend a lot of time in it. But the girl that I was there with, her family lived outside of town. It was, quite a little bus ride away to get back to their place. And so we just went into Davao every once in a while to go to the mall and do other stuff like that, but that was it. Because both places where I was at, there up in Bico, where I stayed at was on dirt roads even. And that suits me just fine. You're talking about for them to take it so they can go dry it there, Ken? Yeah, Mike, he's giving up the Honda business. He's going into bridge construction now. I'm buffering now. I know a while ago I got a message there said it had unstable connection, but I thought it was all right now. Yeah, and Monroe, being around the city, even in the U.S., being around the city always makes it hotter because the concrete and everything else, from the roads and the buildings and whatnot, maintain that heat. Monroe, you'll have to get out and do some videos just out walking around. You don't have to do live streams. Just do, take some videos and stuff and post them of what you're out doing around where you're at there. Let people see the area. It was hot, muggy here today too, because we got rain last night, which once it does that, then when the sun comes up, makes it muggy. Our humidity today was 94%, but it was up in the 80s today. Puts it up around 30 Celsius. Josh left before I thought he was going to go live, but I never got notification that he went live. Unless he's on somebody else's live. Yeah, because Monroe, that's one of the things. If you've got many U.S. viewers, they just want to see what's going on over there and what it's like and whatnot. So that's an easy way to get views, and watch hours in, because people watching the videos of what you're doing there. There's a lot of people that want to go to the Philippines and can't for one reason or another, or may never go, but they like to see what it's like there and what everybody else is doing. Oh, you're staying making a short trip, Monroe. I thought you'd be there for a couple weeks. When I was going before, I was staying 2 weeks at a time, and even that was too short. Ken and Mike are both going to go to JB's, help her harvest rice. Oh, I thought you didn't go over till the 20th. That's why I didn't think you'd been there very long. Yeah, when you're somewhere and having fun, time always seems to fly. Mike, you need to go somewhere so you can ride in a tricycle. That's a fun ride. And one of the other things with Philippine traffic, with the way they drive, doesn't matter what vehicle you're beside you, you're that close to them all the time. You kind of around as much as they do without getting in accidents. In all the intersections and stuff that don't have traffic lights or stop signs or whatever, I always used to say the one with the loudest horn has the right of way. One of my neighbor's dogs behind me here barking. Always makes me wonder what it is they're barking at, whether it's one of my cats is or by the fence or whatever. Mike, what did Rena think of the beef stew the other night? Well, if you've got a light breeze, that helps make it a little cooler. But being it's only 9:33, it's going to get warmer. Says they've got 5 people here, but everybody got quiet. Ken, how far are you from the coast there? When I was in Davao, I didn't think it was that bad, but I was there in November. So when it's cooler then anyways. Well, that's the thing of it, most of them, figure you're a foreigner, figure you're important, so they try to treat you such. There's a few of them that don't. They don't like foreigners, but the other thing too with me going to the Philippines, like I say, I didn't think it was that bad. One, like I said, I was there in November in my trips each time I went. And the other thing is coming from Florida, it's already hot here, so it's not that big of a difference for when I get there. Like for you guys that are up north, where you've been eyeball deep in snow for so long. Got somebody who's somewhere off in the neighborhoods somewhere tonight. I hear him keep shooting the gun off. It's one of them things they made a law or passed the law, changed the law, whatever, here several years back. Because it's always been anywhere you go, it's illegal to discharge a firearm in a residential area. Well, they changed it here where I live at. You can shoot a firearm in a residential area now. But I think they had it intended to be you can shoot, like a warning shot to scare somebody off or whatever. But they didn't word it that way. So we got people now that just sit out in their yard and just shoot for something to do, or set up a target out there and sit there and have target practice. While I've been on here on the live stream, there's somebody that, they're often a distance away, but I can still hear the noise from it. Forgot a bag of chocolate in the bus. Well, she made somebody happy. Anybody that found the chocolate will want that. But the ones I can hear off in the distance, like I say, discharging a firearm, I bet they've discharged 30 or 40 rounds just since I've been on this live stream. Yeah, if you left something like the chocolates on the bus, you can pretty well figure that somebody else got it. Her and Kyla did that one day when they were out grocery shopping. Set the bag down and was doing something else and left it sitting there on the sidewalk. They went all the way back to where they left it and lucked out. The bag was still sitting there which was surprising. I figured it would have been gone before they got back. I got a spot right here in my hand I keep picking at. When I was out working on my scrap the other day with a screwdriver where I was doing this, holding the end of it, I wore a blister right in the palm of my hand. I picked up 11 sliding glass doors yesterday from a neighbor, and I'm taking apart for the scrap for the aluminum. It doesn't take too much to take them apart. It just screws in the four corners, and you knock the frame apart on them. Then I have to clean the rubber molding or whatever, where it goes against the glass and where the doors overlap and stuff and what like that often. But then I got to get rid of the glass. And the glass in a sliding glass door is safety glass. So I lay it out here on the concrete in the driveway and go up in the corner of it, take a hammer, and you got to hit it 4 or 5 times for it to finally break. When it does, the whole thing just shatters into little bitty pieces like that. Then I get a shovel and scoop them up and throw them in the trash. If it's a single pane glass, when it breaks, it just scatters out flat across the driveway. It'll cover half my driveway with broken glass. I have to sweep it all up. These that I'm doing right now are double pane, so they have a aluminum frame around them, even after you take the door frame off. So when I do them, they shatter and stay within that frame and then just drop. So it doesn't scatter out as bad. Other than tonight when I was scooping it up, I got a shovel full of it, went to turn to put it in the garbage can. Neighbor's dog barked, and I turned to look at that and banged the top of the garbage can and scattered glass everywhere. The bag of chocolate she forgot on the bus, was that when you went to see the girls or when you went somewhere else? Hey, Mike, here's something you might miss. I was talking with another driver the other day. She was going across to Interstate 80, Wyoming, heading west, through there. On that way, heading west across 80. And they were getting a bad snowstorm with strong winds. She was driving 35 miles an hour to stay on the road. And there was a lot of other traffic that was off in the ditch. Hard to believe, the end of April, and they're still getting that kind of weather out there. There's another guy, Myron, that I talk with once in a while. He's a Canadian over in central Canada. And when I was talking with him the other day, he had a live stream going, or no, he was on somebody else's live. But anyways, he said it was snowing enough there that they had enough snow on the ground to make snowballs. Said you can go out and have a snowball fight if you wanted to then. Well, it seems like everybody's kind of drifting out and it's getting quiet here. Been a little over an hour and a half. I think I'll go ahead and end this. Appreciate you, all of you that stopped in this evening. Always good to hear from everybody. Yeah, I'll catch you all on the next one or on yours one. Catch you all later.